there with Taylor Rooks. Lamar Jackson was asked who he'd rather have on his team between Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Ezekiel Elliott. Well, Jackson gave the nod to McCaffrey, who, according to Fox Bet, is projected to total nearly 2,200 yards from scrimmage this season. Shannon, are you surprised by Lamar's?
Nope. My nephew.
That's your guy.
You know why, Skip Bayless? He's more versatile than Zeke, and he's more durable than Saquon. And that's what you love. You love a guy that can do it all. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He had double the amount of catches of Saquon and Zeke. You don't find guys that can do that. He's has a very unique skill set. He runs the ball better between the tackles than most people ever thought he would because of his size. He's probably 2'5", maybe start the season, he's 210, but he's compact. He's put together. He's solidly built. So for me, Skip, I'm gonna take C-Mac. I'm gonna take him because I love his durability. I love his versatility. And I think his versatility is comparable to Saquon. Saquon's versatility is comparable to his, but he's more durable than Saquon, and he's more versatile than Zeke. So I would take that over those two guys.
I thought you liked Saquon.
I love Saquon. I love Saquon.
I thought you said he was the best running back.
He's the best running back in the NFC East.
Ah.
Yeah, that's
So
for
that's
sure.
how you're going to disqualify.
That's for sure.
Okay. So I want to comment on the fact that Lamar even commented on this.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. It's a slippery slope when you're a franchise quarterback, when you're viewed by many people as you're becoming maybe the best quarterback in this league, because it's now becoming a big
Well, Skip, you see how they did
debate.
it earlier because they asked him earlier, it was Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson. So he went old school guys. And then there's like, okay, let's bring it more modern. Let's talk about current guys. And you're absolutely right. Guys normally shy away. Well, if you had a choice, would you like to throw to Randy Moss, T.O., or Marvin Harrison? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady would have never touched that question.
never touch it. Because in the end, you can't win it.
Nope.
And I don't want to get too deep in this, but in this flashpoint moment that our country is in right now, for a black quarterback to pick the white running back, I'm sure some black people are going to say, how can you do that to us? Not now. Like right now, it's not the right time. So you can't win that, even though you can make your case that he is the best. And I love for people to have opinions. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I got opinions. You got opinions. That's what we do for a living. But we're not the franchise quarterback. And this is a tricky time for Lamar. And we talked yesterday, we showed the video of him running on the beach, and you were just horrified by it. Like, what are you thinking? And he's had a couple of other missteps in the offseason. He said that Tennessee, we just underestimated. No, you didn't underestimate.
What was that, Skip? Was that his first offseason? He was driving over 100 miles an hour, and he showed it on the...
Oh, yeah, he showed it.
Yeah.
He posted it. Oh, aha. Way to go. Good point. He still hasn't quite grown up off the field to match his maturity on the field because he's high IQ on the field. He doesn't make a bad choice. I watch game after game when every passing choice he made or run pass choice was just right. He just was natural. He just had it. He saw it before it happened. The anticipation was supreme. Off the field, not yet, because it's happening so fast. He hasn't been able to sort of catch up with his success on the field. Well, you got to live and you got to learn that you probably don't need to answer that question. Yeah, you don't touch that one. Okay. And then he was asked about how will defenses try to stop you next year, and he said they can't. Well, again, love the confidence, love the bravado of it, but you know and I know this league will get you back for that. It will figure you out, and it will catch up, and it will put you back in, quote unquote, in your place. You know, like we won't let you do that to us anymore, right?
Yep.
So he's got to be careful with how he handles these things because I don't think he's handled enough of these things to know yet. And he is on the cover of Madden this year, which is great. But in the end, what do we know about Lamar? What are the money games? He's played 2 big money games, both playoff games at home. And guess what? He stunk in both of them. He did. He stunk it up in both of them. He was the MVP, and it was runaway unanimous. Nobody had any quibble with that. But, yeah, man, it's hard to sell what he did in those 2 playoff games against Tennessee and against the Chargers.
I think he'll learn as it goes along. Some things you just don't touch, and you give the PC. I love them all. I would love to play with all. I love to hand the ball or throw the ball to all of those guys, and that's what the guys do.
Yep.
Skip, if you look at Wade Phillips, he's coached some of the greatest defensive players of all time. He was Reggie's defensive coordinator, Bruce Smith,
Yep.
Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, or J.J. Watt, and he always said they compare favorably to each other.
Yeah.
He's not, he don't put one in front of the other, although, like I'm saying, he's Ricky Jackson. So, and I think for a quarterback that's currently playing, now once the guy retires, okay, fine. But when you just have to be careful, Skip, when you're playing, because people are like, oh, you choosing sides. And like I said, you're right. He's entitled to his opinion. But as he grows, he's going to understand that everything doesn't deserve a this or that response. Sometimes you have to give them cliches or coach's spiel or however you want to define it. Sometimes that's what you do. And whatever you do, stop playing on the beach. And Skip, I get it. He's young, but he's 23. He has an opportunity to do what we call and what we've been trying to, and you hear a lot of people talk about it, Skip, generational wealth.
Yep.
This is not the NFL is not a $15 an hour job. This is not $40,000. You got an opportunity to secure generations
of your family. Yes.
And you're willing to take a risk, say, well, I want to have fun on the beach. Really?
One false step.
No way.
And all that wealth.
And everybody that says let the man live would never do that in that same situation. Mm-hmm. As Ben Roethlisberger by getting on that motorcycle. Mm-hmm. It like to cost him everything.
Yep.
Bet he ain't been back on one.
Ask Robert Griffin III what happened his rookie year down the stretch. He had a crazy run that he tried to make with no slide and got helicoptered. I think it was at Cleveland.
No,
right?
It was at Washington.
At Washington, I'm sorry. Yeah. And that started it, and then Seattle finished it in the playoff game at home, and RG3's up 14-0, and you know the rest of the story. And his knee was so wrecked, it took so long for him to try to come back from it. He lost his confidence, and then he just lost his way.
Right.
And he's never been the same.
Skip, and like I said, freak accidents happen.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to get a freak accident, it's going to be on the freak accident on the football field.
Okay, I give you
It ain't going to be on the beach.
Yep.
That's not happening. I'm not willing to risk $150, $180 million that I can set my kids up for down the line, and they can hopefully expand on that, and they can start an empire. I'm not willing to risk that up. I'm not willing to risk that to have some fun on the beach with some free. I'll walk on the beach, do some other things, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm not doing that. I'm not risking that, Skip. No.
So I hope he continues to grow. I'm a big fan, but you know what the narrative is going to be all next year is it builds toward the playoffs, and I think they're going to be really good. It's going to be right there between them and Kansas City as the sort of favorites to win it all, and I'm sure they're going to pile up regular season wins, and the whole narrative all year will be, well, let's see what he can do in his third home playoff
Well, that's
game.
because, Skip, after you win the regular season MVP, now, okay, we know you're good. Because the same thing with Peyton Manning, he had a bunch of regular season MVPs with no playoff success. Ultimately, that's how you're defined, is getting there. And he's young. It took Peyton a long time to get his first playoff win and to win consistently in the playoffs. So he's young, but ultimately, that's how he's going to be judged. Now, my homeboy got a head start. He got them playoff wins early, kind of like Brady, Skip. Brady wasn't the player as far as, he had a great team around him. He wasn't the player, but then all of a sudden, he's like, hold on, wait a minute. He had three Super Bowl. He had more Super Bowl MVPs than he had regular season MVPs, Skip, which is unheard of.
Yep, but he's the GOAT.
Whoa. Pat Mahomes
Still the GOAT.
Pat Mahomes said, give me a couple of years. We'll have this discussion.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Tom Brady's saying, give me a couple of years with some real weapons in Tampa, and we'll have a whole new discussion.
Joe Montana said, how do I get out of this? How I get left out of the discussion? Well, I'm 4-0. Ain't nobody ever beat Joe in the Super Bowl. You know that?
Well, Tom Brady should have 8 Super Bowl rings.
Well, actually, he could easily be 2-6 too. If Pete Carroll didn't try to be a hero, what about that one? And Adam Vinatieri wasn't the most clutch kicker in NFL.
All right, we got to go back to the NBA, guys, because Kyrie Irving feels like he's been unfairly criticized for his actions. We'll explain next.